In 2001, Anne Mulcahy was made the first female CEO of Xerox Corporation. During this time, Xerox was facing not only bankruptcy, but a difficult SEC investigation as well. Within years of her takeover as CEO, she turned the company profitable as well as solving the SEC investigation with no harm to Xerox's reputation. One reason that Mulcahy was able to do this is that she's a transformational leader. She does her transformational leadership through using creativity, interactiveness, her passion, as well as being a visionary and empowering her followers. This helps to become a motivational influence on her workers, and this creates a better corporation overall. She proves that she is a creative visionary in the fact that she met with the executives at Xerox once she took over the corporation, and they sat down and they laid out a clear set of goals that they wanted to accomplish within the next 5 years. And they put this out to the public as their vision statement. And by the time 2005 came about, they actually accomplished about 80% of the goals they set forth. And this helped for workers and employees as well. She's also a democratic leader. Now what this means is that she acknowledges she doesn't hold every bit of knowledge that could help Xerox succeed. And her first act as CEO was to go on a listening tour. And what she did at a listening tour was she interviewed low-level employees, high-level employees, technology experts, as well as customers to see where Xerox made a mistake and how she could go about fixing these mistakes. She really wanted everyone's input to get different perspectives in order to gain a clear idea of how she, as a leader, could move this company forward. In terms of her competencies, she really excelled in the analytic competency of systems, organizational, and situation analysis. In simpler terms, this means she just looked at the big picture. She didn't focus on small gains that would help them through the first month. She really wanted to completely reorganize the corporation to exist past just a year. And in terms of this, she says, rather than wasting time putting out fires, we're actually focused on the source of the fuel leak, which became critically important to fixing the real problems at hand. So they didn't just fix one problem today and then they would run into it later. They completely restructured the organization. She also had a notable effectiveness in personal competency. This one component that she particularly excelled in was enthusiasm. And coming in as a leader to a very tough situation faced with a lot of issues, she really excelled in keeping a positive mindset that Xerox would get past this and that they would exist far beyond just claiming bankruptcy. She referred to this as the window of opportunity called a crisis, and she recognized that they could use this as an advantage. She also excelled in communication, specifically building interpersonal relationships and team building. She gives her relationships the most credit in her success, and she constantly is keeping in touch with employees at every level, customers at every store, no matter what her position is in the company. She says, I stay in touch by staying in touch. This means she's constantly out there making genuine connections with anyone who is affected by Xerox. And this builds a trust bond throughout the organization. Her next competency is organizational. She scores highly in the change, risk, and crisis management. And it goes without saying that she was able to turn a crisis that could have ruined the company into one that made the company another iconic technology superpower. The final competency is positional. And before taking the position of CEO, Anne worked for 26 years, starting in sales, went up to human resources, and eventually made CEO of Xerox. So this gave her not only the experience, the knowledge, but also knowledge of the company culture, and she knew how to communicate with every person in that organization, which helped her to succeed during the crisis. All of these competencies, as well as her transformational and democratic style of leadership, allowed her to effectively lead Xerox to success.